I decided to get up early and hike into the newly opened Shull's Rock in Hellam Township, York County. Hellam Township was the first township established in York County in 1739. The area is linked to many historical figures. A Revolutionary War general, signer of the Declaration of Independence, Underground Railroad, and Civil War battles. There are also many tales and legends attached to this land. Some have been turned into movies. Others continue to fascinate visitors from outside of the area. Some of the stories originally thought to be just mere legend have turned out to be true. I got a little later start than I wanted, but it's still going to be a nice hike. There's a lot of history around here. So just north of us is the Cadorus Furnace. You can check out my video for the history of that and its connection to a signer of the Declaration and its contribution to the Revolutionary War. So Hellam Township is in York County, but back when the first settlers came in here from England, this was actually Lancaster County. Soon the Germans actually moved in, and there was more Germans here than there were English, even though most of the town names, Hellam was for Hellam, England. About a mile to my west is the legendary 7 Gates of Hell. I really need to get a bigger camera bag. I brought my A7iii to do time lapses, and the only thing I could do is attach it with a separate camera bag. I need to fix that situation. Up until about a year ago, this was all private property and nobody could access the what they're calling the Shull's Rock overlook. This has since been purchased by the state and turned into a state park, and now we can actually get to the overlook in the rock. Wow, okay, I did not expect it to be this nice, but that is, that's an amazing view. This overlook has been known as Shull's Rock since at least 1880. Locals say that the rock was named for a farmer that allegedly backed a mule off the edge of the rock after it refused to cooperate with him. In 1937, there was a proposal to connect this rock with a trail to the Indian Steps 26 miles south. It was going to be named the Indian Memorial Park. In 1939, funding was lost as all money was redirected towards war readiness. Well, I forgot to bring water, but I did bring my coffee, so that'll work. There's so many stories in these hills. This is part of the section that's called Hellam Hills. Technically, it's down a little bit further south of here. There was a hermit that lived in these hills. He was born in 1829, Joel Strong. He ended up marrying a Druck, Leah Druck, and she ended up passing away in 1869, so just after the Civil War. And some say that he lived out here on the land, grew his own food. He didn't really have a house. He stayed inside of a cave. He would stay with relatives every once in a while when the weather got really bad, but for the most part, he lived out here in the Hellam Hills. Some people say that he was hiding out from the draft and the Civil War. Not sure if that's true or not. A majority of the people think that it was actually grief from losing his wife in 1869. They said he never recovered and he just stayed out here in the hills, away from people, stayed in that alternate universe you end up in when you lose somebody. He lived out here. He ended up using part of his acreage to open up what he called Strong's Park, since his last name was Strong, in the late 1800s, and allowed people to come around from Hellam and York. They come in here and picnic on his land. They said that he actually would climb trees really well, and every once in a while you see him shooting up a tree, stack these pyramids of rocks. So he actually passed away in 1905, actually July 24th, so yesterday, back in 1905, he passed away at age 75. So Shock's Mill Bridge down there was actually built in January of 1905, so just a few months before Strong's passing. So he could have been aware that they were connecting Lancaster to York here with that bridge. So in October of 1905, shortly after Strong's death, a John Gable purchased his property up here, and the last records we see for this area is where he planned to install some type of gravity water system up here in a dam that fed Hellam Borough, I believe. The strange thing is I actually located, looks like remnants of a dam further down in what they officially call Hellam Hills, just south of here. There's some bricks in the creek down there that I always wondered what they were, so now I wonder if it's actually involved in that operation and if that operation ever even happened. So I did reach out to the Cruz Creek Historical Society to try to find the official location of Strong's Park, if that's even possible. So more on that to come. But it's an interesting description because they say there's a stream going through there. There's actually a cave at some point where Strong would hide out from the storms in, supposedly. So I'm curious to see exactly where Strong's Park was. Google searches, I can't find anything. All of my York County history books, and I think I have every one there is out there, not one of them mentions Strong's Park or even Joel Strong at all. Several other Strongs in the Civil War, generals, things like that, but not Joel Strong, the hermit of Hellam Hills. Was Joel Strong living in isolation due to his grief, or was he just living a life of adventure, absent of the dull routine of everyday life? Is Strong's cave and park hidden in the local woods? Was a giant reservoir created by Gable? What happened to the skull that was found under the floorboards of the Cadorus Ironmaster's house? Where is the farm where the escaped British POWs shot the farmer? These are some of the questions that I hope to answer with the continuation of the Hellam series.